Jarra?
Aye, it's Areet, like.
So, actually, welcome to Areet Jarra, and on tonight's show, we'll be talking about the state of Jarra, the Soviet Union, and we've got a special guest on today called Bros Bromble, and he's got locked-in syndrome. So we're going to see what life's like with locked-in syndrome. I hope you guys enjoy tonight's show, and shout out to Jolly Tube HD and the Wild Bros. I'll leave the channel links down in the description, so subscribe to them. I'm expecting a shout out back, so you better give this one now. Cheers.
Right. The current state of affairs in Jarrow first.
Right.
It still sucks.
Yeah, literally, like, last week there's been many cases of shoelaces being robbed around here, actually.
Oh, actually,
Yeah. I mean, there's been like at least like 72 reported cases of shoelace robbings like this week alone, and to be honest, it's quite like it's a real big like push factor away from Jarrow. Like that's why there's no tourists come here, and that's why our town is so deprived. But at least there's an upside though. At least when we rob shoelaces, we'll have shoes to use them with, unlike the Hebben lads.
Now, I would like to say that I've noticed a lot in Jarrow. There seems to be discrimination against people who can't do combustion equations, complete combustion, not incomplete. Now, this will just quickly lead us into our second pointer about Lawson.
Yeah, Lawson abused me. Was it last Friday?
Yeah.
Friday, right. So basically, as you probably do know, everyone has a bit of a dance boy moment in their life. And mine came in science on Friday.
Right. It did.
It's funny because he can't move.
He's locked in. So Sam messed up one of these equations that me and other student got correcto. This is where the trouble started to unfold.
Basically, Pete. Should I really dox him? Actually, yeah, I will. Pete Lawson. The mean guy that he is, with a child who's bald, decides to have a go at me in front of a class saying, "Ha ha! Look guys, Sam got it wrong." I was like, "Well, I know. I mean, like, however, there's no need to say it in front of a whole class. It's not like that where they say someone else gets it wrong. I'm not going to say any more names because they are innocent, really." But I'm sure if you got anything to add to this, like, because it's a bit of a travesty.
Well, it was made worse by the fact that the bald child in question started waving at us, and then Lawson said, "Even the bald child can do complete combustion equations."
I mean, like, no, you can't, though.
He's like, not even one.
I know, he's like, he's about third of a year old.
You can probably do nth term, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to factorise quadratic equations, like, but
Aye.
that's about the level he's at. And now back to Jarra. So recently as well, if you don't know, Jarra has a big drug scene, right?
Oh yes, big.
And recently there's been a very like this new very addictive drug being put in the Jarra drug ring, and it's quite common now actually. You can buy it probably off basically anyone, and it's Parma violets.
Oh god. Actually, Mr. Lawson was giving some of them out. They were
Yeah, he was, right. It's basically what the kids do nowadays is get Parma violets, crush it up, and just snort the lines of Parma violets.
He would know. He's tried it before.
Yeah, I've tried it before, and
He's come clean. He went through
Yeah.
some therapy and stuff, and now he's
I've
back.
been clean since yesterday.
Yeah. He's doing alright.
Yeah, it is.
No, actually,
I'm doing quite well.
there is a second version of the Palm Violet you can get called Fizzers, but they're not as addictive. They're just sort of,
Yeah, like Twizzlers.
Yeah. Pretty sour though. Yeah, anything you want to add about Fizzers or Palmer Violets? Actually, you get giant ones now as well, so...
Yeah, it's really like driving tourists away from Jarra again.
I can't believe like Morrison's and Tesco and stuff would actually endorse this. They
I
sell
know.
it at the shop for like 60 pence. It's ridiculous.
Like, there should be like the Tide Pods. I know, right? I'm not saying Tide Pods are funny because they're a dead meme, but there should be like that in like America. Palm violets should be locked up.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bros Brumble?
All right. Oh, that was
Very insightful response.
Yeah, that's pretty deep actually. I need some time to think about that.
Yeah. Sorry, I've made it prick. Andrew, can you commentate for a bit?
No, just okay. So aside from Palmer violets and such, fellows such as Richard have been bullying us again. Well, bullying Sam Woodhouse again. This boy right here. I was at school this morning, and he came up to us and went, "Here, Richie's been picking on us again." So I went, what lol? How? And it turns out that Sam had been playing with these kids, not literally, on Xbox.
A lot of prolific nods.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a cool for one of the kids.
The kids are actually relatively cool, raw XD LMAO, and Richie was like, "Here, I will sort my brother out."
Even if I wasn't doing anything.
"What are you doing?" He was like, "Doing nothing." He's just horrible to her, really, Richie. He watched last week's Areet Jarra and now he just hates her.
I'll actually come back to Jarra. There is one. There's one upside. It's like a positive bit of news to come out of Jarra. I mean, it's quite an old song now, but it's called "Get Down for Bagheads" by Ben Potts. It's I would say it's a tune.
Yeah, it is actually quite catchy. I like it.
Yeah, my favourite part is where he goes, it looks like a pigeon, smells like a dingo. I think when talking about a homeless person, we'll probably put on the snip of the song now because you shouldn't mind. And now, getting away from Jarra, let's go over to Peter Lawson, not our science teacher. He's going to interview Dmitry from the Soviet Union.
Hi, I'm Andrew from Areet Jarra. I've came from Jarra Beach all the way down here to Soviet Russia. I've travelled back in time. The USSR's back in power. So I'm here to talk about these Russians, see what's going on. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Dmitry.
Dmitry. So, Dmitry, how's the current state of Russia for you and your family and friends?
What do you mean Russia? It's Soviet Russia.
Oh, sorry.
And what do you mean about USSR's back in power?
What do you mean?
Soviet Russia will prevail.
Yeah, it's always been in power, right? So, how is Russia at this current moment? Soviet Russia at this current moment in time, the great USSR.
It's great. No poverty. Everyone's happy because of communism.
Of course, capitalism will never prevail. Communism. Well,
No McDonald's for us here in Russia. Soviet
What do you eat?
Russia.
What do you eat?
Shout out to Donald Trump.
What thought?
We eat семечки and drink kvass.
Right.
Where are you going?
I don't like communism anymore.
This has been a very pointless interview. Suka, блядь!
So Sam's gone to the toilet for the second time in the last 5 minutes. Our guest is still locked in. He's just sat over there by himself. Scary, to be honest. So, I've got some educational advice with my throat going. That's not really nice. So, this is straight from the mouth of P. Atkinson. So, if you want to be smart, if you want a big brain like Albert Einstein, then you have to drink your dihydrogen monoxide 7 times a second, like this. Yeah, this stuff. And it's just like that, right? That'll make it smart. And for all those people who do English literature out there, There's this beautiful song called Mac's Not Hot by Mr. Bruff. It's about Macbeth. That's our guest. And it's a really inspirational song, to be honest, because it gives great quotes that you could use in the exam, such as, "Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it." So just wait for Sam to come back, and yeah, that was my educational advice with P. Atkinson and Mr. Bruff. We've got this interview to do now with
Ross Bromble, our person from Jarra, well, South Tyneside, who has locked-in syndrome. Say hello.
We actually found him behind a dumpster. I don't know what's wrong with him. I think he has locked-in syndrome.
Yeah,
it might just be the drugs. So,
yeah.
So let's just start asking him some questions that were found from our brains. Sam's just going to say them and get it over and done with, and hopefully we'll get some nice response and insight from someone with locked-in syndrome.
So, Bros.
Look, Sam's already broken down, so it'll be like so sad, man.
It's very emotional, man.
Right.
So, Bros, what's it like living with locked-in syndrome, pal? Sorry.
It's fun.
It's just too emotional.
That is heartbreaking, honestly. Like, you see adverts, but you don't actually see the
Full extent.
Yeah, the full extent of it in real life until you meet someone where he's on again. Honestly, man, I would not want to live like that, unfortunately.
No, it must be horrific. No, he can sense what's going on around him, but he can't actually respond. Like, his nervous system's completely gone, and scientists don't know a cure yet. It's horrible.
But we're actually going to make a documentary called Locked In about it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, people mistook that and actually thought it was a horror film.
Yeah.
But
it's quite popular as well. Got 300 something views, almost 400 now.
yeah. So now we've actually got someone with locked-in syndrome here. We can, get on with that and understand how great locked-in actually is. It's not fun to be locked in, though, is it?
Nah, it's not.
It might sound fun. That's the abuse, man. You can't do anything to stop you.
Yeah, it was funny. So, Bros, do you take any paracetamol or anything to help with it? Well, okay. Andrew, have you got any more questions? Because I'm stumped.
Yeah, I was just wondering. Right, so since you're locked in, how do you tie your own passenger shoes? Or the slip-on? How do you get dressed in the morning? Do you have like a nurse called like Peter Lawson or something?
Do you have a carer?
Is your carer called
It's raining in the studio today.
Whoa, it's a bit wet like. Right, so
Well, it's not the end of the show.
yeah, we've asked for questions, we've said what we need to say. It's I think that's the end of the show, like, boys.
We'll see you next week for another episode of Areet Jarra.
It's all fine, don't worry. Very cool thing.
Areet Jarra.
Aye, it's Areet, like.